So good afternoon and welcome to social media video creation using Canva. So many of you have attended my webinars in the past on Canva, kind of maybe the intro to Canva and getting started with it. And I've always said kind of along the way, yes, I'll do one on video's coming, or, it's not quite there yet on Canva, and really it's arrived. So you can do so many cool and interesting things on Canva with respect to video. So all different types of videos. So we're going to get into it here. So a little bit about me and my agency. I'm with JDC, Pushing Digital Boundaries. I'm the facilitator, Jennifer Baker. I often forget to introduce myself. And then this is my team here. So we're to Nady and Vish. So Nady is attending today's webinar, and she's doing a lot of the back and forth and commenting. So if you do have questions, she's kind of curating those questions, and we will get to many of them at the end of the session. But if I see a question as it comes up, I will answer it kind of as we go. So feel free to follow our accounts. We're pretty entertaining on social media. I try to be entertaining. Maybe I'm not funny. I'm not quite sure. So let's get into it. So what are we here for? What are we going to learn about? So by the end of today's training, which will be around 50 minutes or so, we're going to talk about the different templates that you can find and use on Canva. And then we're going to talk about all the editing and video manipulation that you can do on Canva as well. And there's so much, and they continue to add new and cool tools to it. And then the last little part that we're going to address is the audio. So there's audio and sound effects, and then the different pieces that we can add in there. All right, so let's get into it. I'm just going to see the other people who have joined. So we've got a few people from Kingston. We've got people from Richmond Hill. Wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so let's get into it. And today is all about Canva. So I will bring over my other screen, and I'll be going through Canva as a live demonstration. So rather than just showing you a PowerPoint of a picture of Canva, I'm actually going to show you the tool. And then I'm also going to be looking at individuals who have shared with me their business and then using them as example. I'm kind of a magician that uses real life, interaction from the audience. So let's talk about Canva. So when you talk and when you want to get started with video on Canva, you have to think about what do you want the video to do for you. So in my head, video kind of goes into this flow chart here. So I say, well, do you want video on your mobile device? Is it going on Facebook? Are you making a YouTube video? Is it for Pinterest as a video pin? Is it a LinkedIn video ad? If you're doing mobile, is it Instagram? Is it TikTok? And my brain goes here because there's lots of different formats, and by formats and aspect ratios, that's what we see kind of below with the little cell phones that I've included there. So the different ratios kind of depend on what you want to do with it. Now, I understand that many of you might be here for Instagram Reels, but if you have access to your keyboard, tell me the type of video that you're here for. Is it like a YouTube video, like a 16:9? Or is it more of the mobile video, like an Instagram Reel or a TikTok? Because we have time for both. Or is it something more square, like a 1-to-1 ratio? So let me know what kind of you're interested in. So Instagram videos, Reels, sorry, Instagram Reels, YouTube videos, something else. Okay. And that just gives me an idea of kind of what you want. I can go in any direction you need. Nady was a student of mine. She knows I take classes this way too at St. Lawrence. So YouTube, Instagram Reels, Facebook videos, Reels, Instagram, Facebook. Oh, we have a Pinterest. Jillian, we've got a Pinterest in here. Okay. Instagram mostly. Okay, so it sounds like Instagram mostly. I'm using Sandra. And then we're going to have some YouTube. Okay, so if you are watching the recording afterwards, the chat is determining which direction this is going to go. So it looks like we're going to do mobile videos, and then we're going to do YouTube as well. Great. I'm flexible. So when you are getting started on Canva for your mobile video templates, I had a feeling you were going to say mobile. So as you are getting started with mobile video templates, You can start with a completely blank slate. You know, if you don't need Canva's help, you can start from a completely blank slate. If you want to start getting maybe some ideas or have the multiple frames, the option is there for templates. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to show you some of those. And then if you choose to use one of these templates, you can engage what I'm going to assume you previously set up your brand kit. So I've got my little brand kit there, green, shocking. But you can have your own brand kit as well so that you can customize these templates to fit your brand. So you don't have to have, if we flip back here, this orange one, the zero waste outdoor market. We don't have to keep the orange if that's not your brand. You know, if it's a different or alternative color, we can change it to match that brand. Okay. So we'll talk about customizing those templates as well. All right, so let's drag over Canva. Look at, we're 6 minutes in and we're already in Canva. We're in the thick of it. Okay, so this is your Canva dashboard. A quick reminder on Canva, you do have to log in. As you've been logged in, it's going to be saving your content as you go. So if you're saying, hey, Jennifer, you haven't stopped to save anything, or is this saving and where does it go? Because you're logged into Canva, it does save kind of ongoing. So from this main dashboard, it is getting a little bit busy, but I'll show you the different places that you can access the video. So at the top in the right, in the purple, there is the option to create a design. So you can get in here and you can type in reel and it's going to populate Instagram reel. So then we've got the correct aspect ratio here. Okay, so those are all our real people. Or if you are in the YouTube world, there's a couple different options in here. But there's YouTube banners, there's logos, there's video ads in here. Okay. If you're in Facebook, you can key in Facebook video. So depending on who you are or what video you want to create, you can search for that initial template. So Instagram reel, Facebook video, YouTube video. So we'll start with the Instagram video. Sorry, Instagram reel. I'm really not that old. Instagram reel. So once we put in the Instagram reel, you can see that there's many different options in here. So we've got the generic Instagram reel, but then there's also the option for the cover. And I do get asked often about how do I make a cover? So you can have a cover template as well. And then they have some, I'll say, theme-based reels. So charity Instagram reel, not for profit, which is kind of in the charity vibe, but not for profit Instagram reel video. So add in as much detail as you can, and that's where it's going to refine those templates for you. Okay, so let's just start with our Instagram reel up there. The other place you can look as well is kind of in the main center of the screen, and you can click videos right in the center here. And again, it's going to give you a lot of different options in here. Oh, Simon can see himself on the screen. That's great. So we can see here, easy to assemble videos. So we can have the different aspect ratios. So if we want mobile, Facebook video, Instagram, TikTok, and so on. So this is giving you a little bit more flexibility, but if you're thinking, I've got a main goal in mind, I need to make an Instagram reel, the best thing to do is, you know, Instagram reel and kind of key in there. Okay. So once we've gotten into the Instagram reel templates, it's going to start giving you some options. So we've all seen this template. My students at St. Lawrence talk about the getting ready with me videos a lot. So you can see as you hover over what the video could look like. And what we're looking for here is placement of text, placement of any graphics or frames. We're looking for those those details, not necessarily the video, because you can upload your own video, but we're looking at the other elements. If those aren't, or if those aren't doing it for you, then you can continue down. So it's going to continue to present different templates for you. So for those of you who don't need a template, you can tap the create a blank and kind of start literally with a blank canvas. But for the rest of us, we can pick a template. So let's pick on, I think I'm going to pick on Anya from Glamping Essentials. I think I'm picking on her today. Well, for one video. So maybe we'll start with something like this. We'll just grab this one for now. Okay. And these are the different pieces. So let's say start. Okay. So now we're starting with this template. It looks like there's two people maybe on a hike doing something naturey. It's an Instagram reel size, and there's a lot happening in here. So the first thing I want you to look at is right at the bottom here. These are all of your frames or pages, so you can see the duration of them. So 1.7 seconds, then we're going to 0.4, 0.4, 0.4, 2.2, and so on. So let's just take a peek at what this thing looks like. Oh, to click this one. And I realized I probably didn't share my sound, so you didn't hear it. So let's. Okay. So that's our video that we're going to work with. I'm probably going to take out some of the pages, so it's a bit shorter. But now we have the opportunity to start changing and modifying to make it work for us. So the one thing I mentioned when I had the PowerPoint slide up was that we can customize it for our brand kit. So over on the left-hand side, we see templates. So we've got templates here. So there's our recently used. And then the next kind of slide over is styles. So this is where my brand kit exists, and yours would be here as well. If you're thinking, hey, Jennifer, I don't have a brand kit. I can't put, colors together. It's not my thing. It does provide combinations that work well. So even if you say, okay, I'm kind of in the blues, the pinks, the greens or something, you can use suggested palettes from Canva. So we could do this glacial something or other. I don't know what this is, glacial something. So that's going to modify, and we'll just say apply to all pages. So anything that needs to be updated with colors, it's going to do it automatically. So now let's just look and see if it did anything here. I can see it later on. Okay, so not so much. So not so much in terms of the colors. It's more or less kind of the headlines on the first page. But that's where you can change up all of the color palettes. So just for the sake of the webinar, I'm going to switch out so we can see the colors, and hopefully it'll change it for us. Oh, maybe this one. No, these are all graphics too. I'm picking poor templates today. Maybe this one. Oh, election. That's great. No one will get angry by all of that. We'll modify it. Okay. So then we'll go to styles, and then maybe some of it will be updated. There we go. I think that's better. Okay. This one had a little bit more of a change to it. Okay. So that's how you can change and modify if you need it. So those are your styles. Now, when it comes to changing any of the elements within it, so by element, I mean graphics, I mean video, photo, if that's the case, transitions, you can modify everything in here. So if you don't like a specific page or frame, you can take it out. So you can add a new one, you can duplicate, you can delete, or you can add a transition. So we can just, I'll just delete this as an example. So now we're down to 4 frames. Okay. Now under elements, you continue to have access to all of Canva's inventory of assets. So if I want to say, don't worry, Anya, I'm still using you, camping, and I want videos, it's going to give me access to all camping related videos. Maybe I shouldn't use campfires right now. It's a bad choice. I'll use canoeing. So what you can do, this person is canoeing. We're going to pop him in there. Looks like he's having a great old time in there. So we can see him canoeing. Okay. So we can go to the second frame. I don't think there's a video in there. Nope. Okay. And then the first one. So let's find some happy people in here. Okay. So what it does in here, this video is 49 seconds. So what you can actually do is shorten it. So you can drag it because we don't want a 49-second reel. We'll make it a bit shorter. Okay. So now we've taken a template. We've updated it with 2 alternative videos. So we're kind of taking out the politics here. And now it's, you know, this person who's having maybe some coffee in the morning at her campsite. These I don't even think have any videos in them. And now we've got this person canoeing. Okay. So now the video looks like this. And to me, this final frame here is a bit long, so I'm going to shorten it even to 4 seconds. So then it's going to go back. I'm going to start here. Okay. So now we've added videos from Canva. Now, if you happen to have your own videos, you can upload them just as you upload your logo or any other still graphics like photographs. So that can be under your uploads, and then under videos is where you can upload files. So you can take your own pictures on your device, or if you have a videographer or you've kind of got a catalog of videos, you can use your own and you can update it. So that's available for you as well. But otherwise, you can use the videos that are available on Canva. So now on here, it's a bit busy for my liking. So I'm actually going to delete some of this other, maybe scribbly type graphics. It's just too much for me. It's not my thing. All right, we'll move her over. You could actually make her full frame here. Okay. And then if you want to add any additional graphics, so maybe you want to add, I'll say more icons, you can do that. So we're going to take out the scribbles and we're going to move this little icon around. So again, what I emphasize with the templates, it's find something that you can work within that you're going to modify ever so slightly to make it yours. Okay. And it gives you that starting point. So now I've got my little campsite in here. And then I might just say, go camping as my little call to action here. Okay. So now we've got go camping. This is 1 second. I'm not entirely sure what they were trying to do here. We'll just delete that. And then the same thing here. I'm going to modify it so that there's kind of not as much happening on this frame. And move him, this canoeist, over. Now, one of the big changes that Canva has done recently is the layering. So I know I've said in previous sessions that I hope the layers, if anyone uses Photoshop, they understand. But I hope layers are a bit more easy to navigate. So Canva has done that. And layers allow you to bring images or videos, move forward or move back. So I can send my canoe person to the back. And you're thinking, what are you talking about? And I'll show you. Layer and layer, show layers. So on all of your designs that you have, each element, so it could be a photo, a video, text, a graphic, they're all layered. So you can actually move things around. So let's see if we can get it to the front. So see, now this kind of piece of paper is on the top, or we can send it right to the back. So this is a new addition to Canva that's really helped visualize where you are kind of stacking those layers. So it's something that's been available on Photoshop for years, but now it's kind of newly available on Canva. Okay. So there's our fellow going canoeing. I'll just make this big. Okay. Now, something else that once you have more than one page in here, if you hover between the two pages at the bottom, there's the option for transition. So you can tap this little, it looks like a chevron, and it will give you some options for how the frames transition from, one into two. So we could do a slide. Hope I don't make anyone motion sickness as I go through here. We could do different like wipes. We could do flow. We could do stacking, could do chopping. And then once you pick one that you like, so I'll just choose dissolve, you can choose how long that transition lasts. So 1 second, so it's a lot longer. If you want it shorter, then you'll just make it half a second or less. So that goes fairly quick there. Okay. We'll just make it 9 seconds. So now between your two frames, you'll see almost like this little bow tie. So that shows you that you have a transition between page one and page two. So if we were to add an additional frame, so a page 3, it's going to default to 5 seconds. You can modify this. So let's choose videos, and maybe we will grab another. As you add in the new video, it will pick whatever length. So you can just drag and say, I only want, 3 seconds, let's say. And then you go back to your transition, your initial transition, and you can say apply between all pages. So if you want that same transition as you go through, you can just simply go back to the one that's been set and choose apply all. Now, if you've only got 1 or 2 pages, it's not a big deal. But if you're doing a lot of different transitions, it just reduces your time. Okay, so you're just going to say apply. It's been applied to all pages. And now let's just take a little peek here. So as a reminder, the transition button is, if I get out of here, it's right at the bottom, and it's going to be between the 2 slides here. Okay. All right. So how are we feeling so far? We're about 24 minutes in. How are we feeling? Okay, great. Okay, I'm glad you're happy. All right. So what I'm going to do for people in the chat, you can leave a review if you're super happy. We're halfway through. So let's go back, make sure I'm staying on track with all the editing tools. I'm getting into some of them. So everyone can see my screen here, maybe. So the different things that we're going to talk about. So we've got a few of them already. Changing the video, uploading, searching for videos. we will get into background remover. So you know how I'm so excited about background remover for still images? It does it for videos as well, and it's super crazy. It's excellent. We're also going to talk about length of video, playback speed, cropping, flipping, and then adding additional frames. So that's just to keep me on track. So let's add a really awkward video. Oh, I wonder if we can do camping person. Wonder if I can do it with someone here. We're going to try with this nice person here. Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So let's try and do a background remover with this person. We're going to send her camping. So you're going to grab a video from Canva or your own. I've tested both. They both work. And now we're going to tap on edit video. And there is the option for background remover. So this is a premium service. You have to be Canva paid to be in here. And oh, that was very quick. That was probably the quickest it's ever done. Okay, so there's this nice person. She doesn't have a background now. That was probably the quickest she's ever done. So camping. And let's go photos. Look at her. Oh, maybe moonlight. Not bad, Canva. Not bad. So it's a bit awkward because you can see like when the video was taken, they kind of cut off her head a little bit. So some of her hair gets like flattened. But this is kind of the tip of the iceberg of what you can do. So you can remove your people from whatever's happening in the background and put them on something different, even if it's a plain background. So I'm thinking of anyone in e-commerce where maybe you have to show a top or something, and you remove the background and they do a spin and it's a video. So it's very clean instead of having a background, maybe distracting from like the top or the pants or something like that. And the same thing could work for any like physical retail good as well. So let's make sure this just wasn't a one-off thing. So I'll type in person again. And well, this guy's actually like camping or he's hiking in nature. So let's always really happy too. Okay, edit video, background remover. Oh yeah, he's going to be great in here. Take that out. Look, he's going to be so happy to find this body of water here. Maybe he's really thirsty. There. See? See, he's camping. He's found some streams. Okay. So this is something that you can, oh, look at, he's even looking at the stream. That's great. So this is one of the tools that you can do with your videos. So any videos that you've created, provided you've got a subject, so something in the kind of forefront, you can take out the background and still retain the video. Okay. You can also edit it as well. So if you just want maybe this guy with his hands above his head being super excited, then we can make it a bit shorter. Okay. So that's the background remover. So that can work for people, for products, it can work for your videos or Canva videos. It can work across the board. So sky is limitless at this point. Okay, so now we've got 4 frames. And as a reminder, let's add in another transition. So let's go back to our initial transition. Apply between all pages. So now we've got the same transition between, you know, all the frames. So it transitions 3 times and it's all identical now. Okay. So at this point, let's see how long our video is. So we've got 4 seconds, 3, and so on. Okay. So other things that you can do, you can change your video speed. So I know that there's different video editing, so you can do it in, TikTok and actually like Instagram or CapCut. So you can change how quickly the video goes. So if you don't like kind of the speed, and oftentimes we see videos either sped up or slowed down just as an artistic. So look at, we can make her super slow. That's awkward. Okay, so we've got super slow, or we got super fast. So again, you're not stuck with the speed that the video was taken. So if you just want this person to be super quick at, doing up their tent, you can speed it up. Okay. And then you can also do like a boomerang. So kind of that repeating video effect. Okay. So there's the video playback and speed. So you can do that to one frame, or you can do it to your whole video. It's up to you. Now there is no, at this point, apply to all pages. So you would have to do it to each page. So to get back here, if we click on our video and then we tap on playback, that's where we get our video speed in there. Okay. So other things you can do with your videos, you can flip them around. So just like you do with any clip art or photos, you can make them canoe the other way if it makes more sense. Always my caution with this is if there's any words in the background that can get read, or if something doesn't function that way. So always, and for me, I'm like, is there something on the canoe or I just realized, is he canoeing or kayaking? He's like canoeing with a kayak paddle. Is that a thing? Anyways, let me know in the chat. So I would look at, if there's any words on the boat or on the canoe paddle, kayak paddle, that people would say, oh, it's backwards. So just have an eye for that if you plan on doing any flipping, because people will call you out on that all the time. Other things that you can do, and I do touch on this aspect in my other Canva webinars, but you can animate the videos. So you can animate the frames within the videos itself. So if we do, now you don't want to make people like too motion sickness. I just want to let you know that it's here. So I often refer to these as the PowerPoint days when people would animate everything and it made people in the boardroom a little bit like seasick. The option is here. You don't have to always use it, but sometimes it adds a little bit of depth to it. Let's start right back here. Okay, so that's a bit much, but the option is there. Oh, I forgot to flip him. Okay. All right. So again, you can add to all pages, or we can just remove all animations, realizing maybe it was a little bit too much. Okay. I'm just making sure I've got everything on my list here. While I review, if you've got any questions, Nady says that the last frame can be a meme. It could be a meme, actually. It looks pretty funny. I'm just going to review and make sure I'm covering everything. So if you've got any questions, pop them in the chat now. Oh, music. Paul-Ann, we're on to our next thing. Let's talk about that then. Okay. I like when people follow along and they don't even know they're right on track. Okay. Okay, so our audio. So sounds and music. So there's kind of two different things that you can add with respects to sound and music. So don't ask me why. Maybe it's I'm the mom of a 6-year-old boy, but the first thing that came to mind for a sound is a chicken. So there are sound effects that you can add in, and it could be like a busy street, it could be a farm, it could be a chicken that you add into these videos. So they can be fairly short. So some you can see are, 1 second, some are a minute long. So there are sound effects, But then there's also tracks. So looking at things like corporate or kind of that backgrounder music, you can add in. So we're going to go through the kind of the two different types on here. And then the next cool thing that Canva has as well is called Beat Sync. So everyone loves a music video or a reel that goes along with the music. So it with one tap, it will sync your frames to the exact length so they go with the beat. Very cool. So let's talk about that. So let's add some music. I think there is music in here already. Okay. So as I've been playing, you've been hearing kind of this music, I'll say. So the music exists below, and that's where it's placed. So by tapping the ellipsis, so those three dots, you can see the different options. So what I'm going to do, just so we get all back on, on the same page, I'm going to delete this. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, you can either go to audio here on the left-hand side, there's audio, but then it's also under elements and audio here. So there's kind of two different ways that you can access it at this point. So the different things that you can do, and this is a bit tricky. This could be a bit of a time vampire, looking for kind of your favorite songs, but you could search for things like happy, and I'm going to hopefully not make this too loud. It's weird. No. We are waves. This could work. Okay. So drop my music in here. Just make sure it starts with it. Okay, so there's my music. So I drag and drop into it. Now, if I wanted to add, oh, sorry, I wanted to say nature. Birds chirping. Okay, here we go. Jungle. Can everyone hear this? Oh, there's definitely a cardinal in that one. All right, so let's put this one in here too. So you can start to overlay your music. So let's just see what we're starting with. Okay, so it's not bad actually to start with without any sort of editing, I'll say. So let's start with our first track here. So the different things that you can adjust in here, literally it says adjust. And we can move around where it starts. So if you look, can you see how it's changing kind of the start? I'm clicking and dragging, so it's changing the start time. Okay, so there's that. If you require any sort of fade in or fade out, then you can put that in. If you want to change how loud it is, and then for all tracks. So I hope it's not too loud. A bit better. Can make it louder. Oh my gosh, this is going to be a meme. I think Maney's onto something. He's hilarious. Okay, so you can adjust. So sometimes if anyone's watched a commercial, back in the olden days, we'd watch TV with commercials and we'd watch our show and then the commercials would get really loud. So you can adjust all the sound so it's consistent across the board. So if you want the fade in or the fade out. Okay, so that's adjust audio effects and so on. All right, so let's do my favorite thing. And let's do a beat sync. Well, I'll do a funkier song that it's. Oh yeah, see, it didn't. I'm going to pick a different one. I know Amanda's really liking the calming music right now, but I have to do something so you can really get the idea of the beat sync. So let's do dance. Let's try this one. Okay, so now when you're looking at dance, you can see the waves here. So let's beat sync this and sync. Everything sync to the beat. Okay, this is getting shorter. Let's make this longer. It thinks it wants it really short. Okay. Now let's try to beat sync here. Okay, this is better. So let's see what happens. Oh, let's restart this. So a bit different than what we were working with previously. So let's delete that. And then let's try another one. This one's perfect, cheesy. Up here. So that beat sync will work with any audio that you've put in either from Canva or yourself. Okay. Now our forest bird chirping, we can't hear anymore because our other thing is too loud. Let's see. See what kind of crazy track we've made. Our dance music is too loud for the birds, but there is that ability to overlay, provided you don't have something kind of as dancey and loud. But as Amanda was saying a bit earlier in the chat, it gives that ambiance too. Oh, that's a great question. How does it know? So the question is, it will beat sync to the one you have highlighted, Brandon. So this one here, I've got the purple one, which is the dancey kind of music. And then I beat sync to that is how it would do it. Okay. Effects or tracks. Okay. And then the last little bit that we're going to talk about. So we'll go back to our dance track. So again, adding in any fade in or fade out. Let's see if this makes a difference. I'm going to take out our birds now. Wait. All right. So we've made a video. So at this point, we've got a complete video. It is 18 seconds. It is 18 seconds in length. And it's got 4 frames with 3 transitions, some music. It's synced to the beat. We're looking good. Now, any other things that you need to do in here would be usually a big question is like, how do I get this onto my device, or how do I download it? So you're going to go up to share, and then you're going to go to download. And then this is sometimes where people get a little bit thrown off, but we're going to download as an MP4 video, which is kind of the default at this point. So MP4 video. And I want all 4 pages. So the 4 frames that we worked on. So we'll say done. And then I will download. And it's going to do its thing. So other things to note with this, depending on how the frames look here, you can download the individual images. So if you wanted just page 2, so this person doing, I don't know, canoeing, kayaking, and now I'm just confused. Download. This is what stock photography gets you. People who don't know how to use equipment, so you have to watch. So now I'm downloading the MP4, but I'm also downloading the individual frames. So if you wanted to use that as your cover for the Instagram reel or the TikTok, or sorry, yeah, the cover for your Instagram reel or TikTok video, you could do that. So now it's got that initial frame. So you can download all the stills as well, in addition to the video. Okay, so I think I've got most of that covered. Okay, so we're at about 15 minutes until the end of it. So we did go over all of the video templates, the editing tools, the audio and the sound effects that you can add for Canva. I do have an upcoming webinar. I've just added it this week. So it's kind of the back to basics. So where people get really caught up with all the latest and greatest things, they're forgetting about the basics of social media. So that one is coming up at the end of June. So I'll put the link in the chat. So you're welcome to attend that one as well. So at this point, I will take questions. So I know Nadie's been keeping track of some questions in the chat. You're welcome to ask them and throw them in the chat, and I will answer them all about Canva and all about videos. Now, for those of you who have purchased a copy of the recording, you will get that maybe today, maybe on Monday, I think. And if you do want to purchase a copy of the recording, just send me an email afterwards, and then I can send you the link for that. Okay, so your questions. Okay, so someone asked this earlier. How do you add a photo to an existing Canva template without the image taking over? Okay, that's a great question. That's like a huge annoyance, isn't it? So let's, I don't know why people, I'm just going to do people. So when you're adding photos or videos, there's a couple different ways to get the photos from kind of the dashboard on the left over onto your canvas. So the first one is, I just search for the word people. There's some people here. I'm going to click it. All I did was click it and it's now added. Now, what you're talking about, Regina, is snapping to the background. And that is a big annoyance for a lot of people. So what happens is when you drag over the picture, I'm still holding my mouse. If I drag it over, it's going to snap it to the background. So what you can do is continue to move your mouse or your finger over your cursor pad, and it will just stick it in kind of as an individual image. Okay, so that's one option. The other thing you can do is use frames, and I love frames, as anyone who's attended webinars in the past. So these frames, they're not actually pictures, just so you know. So I'm going to stick my frame there. And then within that frame, so within that circle, I can place a photo or a video. So let's go back over to our people, and I can drag it into that frame. So now these lovely people are in a circle. If I want to move it around, I double click the image, kind of double click and move back or forth. Okay. All right. So that's one. I hope that answers all of that. Okay, Simon, are all the features used today? So it's probably on the paid. I would say some of them are on the paid. The background remover definitely is paid. If you look at kind of anything that's happening, so if I go into hiking, so anything you see on the dashboard that's got this little crown, so like this image here, that's a pro. You have to pay for that image. So, and so that goes for images, videos, and then some tools as well. So then if I want to do some editing with this, if I click, oh, see, detach from background, is your next thing. If I go to edit photo, so you can see some of the actual tools within here require that paid membership as well. So background remover and so on. Okay. So it depends. All right. So I see Anya. If you want to stop the audio during the video, that's a great question. Here, we'll just get rid of this guy. Delete page. So if you want to stop the video at any point, you can just drag. So then we've got our dancing music there. And then if you want to add something different, I'll just say nature. Now you've got two different soundtracks. So let's just. I wanted it to. You've got two separate soundtracks in there. So one ends, the other one picks up. And now I see Pauline. Can you add a still image? Yeah, we can. So let's go back to our hiking person. They looked pretty happy. So there we go. I'm going to drag over and snap to the background. Regina. And then if I don't want it, I right click and detach from background. But otherwise I can make it the background there. Okay. So that's a still photograph. So I can just plunk it in the middle. Now with that, you're going to have timing. So then you can say, actually, I only want it like 2 seconds. Is that's where you would add maybe some of these like slideshowy type movements to the images. So you could add that in. So if I detach this and then add in like a fade, it gives it some movements because it's awkward with like all the frames having movements, video, and then you get a still image and it's just like nothing for 2 seconds. How do you adjust the volume of the audio track? Okay, so the volume of the audio track, you're going to click on the audio track in question, and then you can either choose volume from here. So I click on the button down up below, or I can click volume up above, and then I can just kind of move it up or down to whatever I need. Okay, so now that is changed. Split an existing frame. I don't know what you mean, Daisy, actually. Of all the questions, Daisy, I don't know what you mean by split a frame.
If you right click.
Yes. Meaning like duplicate?
Yes, you can duplicate it, and then just be related to the question about adding an image. Like if we want to edit in between an existing video.
Oh,
like
okay.
We have an existing frame, so we're splitting it into 2, and then we're adding an image between them.
Okay, got it. Okay, so yeah, you can duplicate any of the frames as well. So Control D and duplicate. And then remember, as always, we can go back to our transitions and then apply to all of the other bits that we've added in here. Can you do transitions, crossfades, audios between tracks? Ooh, can we do that? I don't know. Let's see. Duplicate, adjust, audio effects. I don't know if we can do like fades between. I feel like it's a bit awkward to have multiple tracks in one video, especially if they're so short. But I don't know if we can do that yet. No. Brandon, don't think we can do that yet. Maybe we can. I just haven't learned how to do it yet. Any other questions? We've got about a couple minutes left.
I will just read this one. It's a quick one.
Oh.
How do you adjust the volume of the audio track? Just a reminder.
Okay, adjusting volume. So here, so on any of the audio track, you're going to click the audio track, and then at the bottom is 3 dots. So you can say volume, and then, you know, low or high. If you want it just for that specific track, you can turn it on or off. So down at the bottom, click your audio, and then there's your volume. So either one will get it there. Any other questions? I think we're good. A lot of learning for a Friday afternoon, so you stuck through it. Can you resize videos, like duration or like physical size? The answer is yes. Yes, so you just drag it like you do an image. So you can drag it, okay? All right, so we come to the end. So you stuck through today's webinar. Thank you. I hope that you picked up a few gems. So if you do have any trouble, have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you'd like to purchase a recording, we will have that on our website for Monday. If you have purchased a recording, you should get it by, I'm hoping, Monday morning by email. So feel free to leave us a review. Nadie's put that review option in the chat there. You can also follow along with our different Instagram accounts that we have. I'll put those in the chat as well. And then join us certainly for our next webinar. Share it with your friends, family, and work colleagues. So that one's really getting back to the basics on June 28th. And I hope to see you there. So thank you everyone for coming. I had lots of fun. We have lots of questions about stock photos and Canvas, canoes and kayaks, but thank you again for coming, and I hope to see you soon.